Have you ever had a sibling rivalry so intense that it lasted for decades? Imagine two brothers, born moments apart, one rugged and wild, the other quiet and clever. From the very beginning, they were destined to clash. But their story isn't just about family tension. It's about identity, destiny, deception, and ultimately, redemption. Welcome to the story of Jacob and Esau, a gripping tale from the book of Genesis. It's a journey filled with divine prophecy, family betrayal, personal growth, and a powerful reunion that melts away years of bitterness. In this video, we're going to walk step by step through the life of Jacob and Esau, twins whose choices would shape the future of nations. We'll explore their birth, their battles, the infamous stew for a blessing swap, Jacob's great deception, and the breathtaking reconciliation years later. And as we journey through this ancient story, we'll also uncover timeless truths about family, faith, and forgiveness. So sit back, grab a warm drink, and let's dive into one of the Bible's most powerful stories, Jacob and Esau. Our story begins not with the birth of the twins, but with a divine prophecy. Rebekah, the wife of Isaac, son of Abraham, is pregnant. But this pregnancy is far from ordinary. She feels a fierce struggle happening inside her womb. Confused and distressed, she seeks the Lord for answers. God responds with a startling prophecy. Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve the younger. Genesis 25:23. This is not your typical pregnancy announcement. It's a declaration of destiny. God is saying that the two children within Rebekah will become two nations, divided and distinct. And more shockingly, the older will serve the younger. This flips the cultural norm of the time. Normally, the firstborn son, the older, would inherit the family birthright, authority, and blessings. But not in this case. Even before they're born, these boys are part of something bigger than themselves. Their story will be woven into the very foundation of Israel's history. One will become the father of a nation that follows God. The other will go his own way, forming a separate path. This prophecy sets the stage for everything that is to come. And then it happens. Rebekah goes into labor. The first child comes out red and covered with hair like a fur coat. They name him Esau, which means hairy. But he doesn't come out alone. Right behind him, gripping his brother's heel, comes another baby boy. They name him Jacob, which means heel grabber or supplanter. From the moment of birth, Jacob is symbolically reaching out, trying to take his brother's place. The imagery is powerful. One brother leads, the other follows, but not willingly. And just like that, the dynamic between these twins is set. Esau is the firstborn, the hunter, the strong and impulsive one. Jacob is the second, the thinker, the schemer, the one always planning a move. As they grow, their personalities diverge even further. Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents. Genesis 25:27. Esau is a man's man, rugged, outdoorsy, favored by his father Isaac. Jacob, on the other hand, is quiet and thoughtful, and favored by his mother Rebekah. The family is divided by favoritism. Isaac loves Esau because of the wild game he brings home. Rebekah loves Jacob for his sensitivity and cunning. These divided loyalties sow seeds of trouble that will bloom into full-blown conflict. One of the most famous scenes in the Bible unfolds with something as simple as a bowl of stew. One day, Esau comes in from hunting, exhausted and famished. He smells something delicious. Jacob is cooking a red lentil stew. His stomach leads him straight to his brother. "Give me some of that red stew. I'm starving," Esau says. But Jacob, ever the strategist, sees an opportunity. "First sell me your birthright," Jacob replies. Now let's pause here. The birthright is no small thing. In ancient times, the birthright was the special privilege of the firstborn son. It included a double portion of inheritance and the spiritual leadership of the family. In Esau and Jacob's case, it also tied into the covenant promises given to Abraham, the promise of land, descendants, and blessings to all nations. So when Jacob asks for Esau's birthright in exchange for stew, it's a monumental deal. And shockingly, Esau agrees. "Look, I am about to die," he says. "What good is the birthright to me?" He swears an oath and sells his birthright to Jacob. Then he eats, drinks, and gets up to leave. The Bible notes. So Esau despised his birthright. Genesis 25:34. This moment is pivotal. Esau trades the eternal for the immediate. He gives up his future for a fleeting appetite. It's a spiritual warning about short-sightedness, impulsiveness, and the cost of despising what is sacred. Jacob, meanwhile, has taken the first step in his quest for the blessing. Years passed. Isaac grows old and blind. Feeling that his death is near, he calls Esau to him. "Go hunt some game," he says, "and prepare me a delicious meal. Then I'll give you my blessing before I die." Esau heads out, unaware that Rebekah has been listening. Remember, Rebekah favors Jacob, and she hasn't forgotten God's prophecy that the older would serve the younger. Maybe she's thinking, now is the time for Jacob to receive what God promised. She quickly devises a plan. She tells Jacob, "Go bring me 2 young goats. I'll prepare a meal like your father loves. You'll take it to him, pretend to be Esau, and get the blessing." Jacob hesitates. What if he touches me? Esau is hairy. I'm not. He'll know I'm lying and curse me instead. But Rebekah insists and even says, "Let the curse fall on me." They go through with it. Jacob dresses in Esau's clothes. Rebekah covers his hands and neck with goat skins. He brings the meal to Isaac. Isaac is suspicious. "How did you hunt so fast?" Jacob replies, "The Lord your God gave me success." Isaac touches him and says, "The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's." After one final test, smelling Esau's clothes, Isaac is convinced. He blesses Jacob. "May God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness. May nations serve you. Be Lord over your brothers." Jacob receives the blessing of the firstborn, the same blessing promised to Abraham and Isaac. It's now his. Just after Jacob leaves, Esau returns. He prepares the meal, enters his father's room, and says, "Here I am, Father, bless me." Isaac trembles violently. "Who was it, then, that brought me food and received the blessing?" Esau realizes what's happened and cries out in agony, "Bless me, me too, Father." But Isaac says, "Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing." Esau begs for another blessing, and Isaac offers a lesser one. "You will live away from the earth's richness. You will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw off his yoke." Esau is furious. He holds a grudge against Jacob and plans to kill him after their father dies. Rebekah hears of this and sends Jacob away to her brother Laban, saying, "Flee at once, my son. Stay with my brother until Esau's anger subsides." Jacob leaves, alone and uncertain, carrying the weight of deception and destiny. Jacob flees to Haran, to the house of his uncle Laban. On the way, he stops for the night and has a dream, one of the most famous in Scripture. He sees a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending. At the top stands the Lord, who says, "I am the Lord, the God of Abraham and Isaac. I will give you and your descendants this land. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go." Jacob wakes up, awestruck. Surely the Lord is in this place. He sets up a stone as a pillar and names the place Bethel, meaning house of God. Jacob continues on to Laban's home, where he stays for 20 years. He works for Laban, falls in love with Rachel, is tricked into marrying her sister Leah, and eventually marries both sisters. He has 12 sons, who will later become the 12 tribes of Israel. During this time, Jacob is transformed. The deceiver is now the one being deceived. Laban changes his wages multiple times. Jacob learns patience, humility, and perseverance. He grows in faith and responsibility. Eventually, God tells Jacob, "Go back to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you." But Jacob knows what this means. He must face Esau. Jacob is terrified. It's been over 20 years since he deceived his brother. The last thing he heard was that Esau wanted to kill him. He sends messengers ahead, saying, "Your servant Jacob is coming to meet you." They return with unsettling news. Esau is coming, with 400 men. Jacob panics. Is Esau coming to attack him? He divides his family and flocks into groups, hoping that if one group is attacked, the others can escape. He sends extravagant gifts, hundreds of animals, ahead to Esau, hoping to appease him. Then he prays, "I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown me. Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother." That night, Jacob is alone, and something mysterious happens. A man appears and wrestles with Jacob until daybreak. They struggle all night, neither yielding. Finally, the man touches Jacob's hip, dislocating it. Jacob clings to him and says, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man replies, "What is your name?" "Jacob." "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Jacob names the place Peniel, saying, "I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." The next morning, limping, Jacob sees Esau approaching. He bows 7 times as he nears his brother. And then, something incredible happens. Esau runs to meet Jacob, embraces him, throws his arms around him, and weeps. It's one of the most emotional scenes in the Bible. 2 brothers, torn apart by betrayal and fear, are reunited in forgiveness and love. Esau asks about the gifts, but Jacob insists, "Please accept them. To see your face is like seeing the face of God." The 2 brothers part in peace. Jacob and Esau go their separate ways, but the scars of their story remain etched in history. Jacob becomes the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. He lives to see his sons grow and his family flourish. He eventually passes on the blessings of Abraham to his son Joseph, and later to all his descendants. Esau becomes the father of the Edomites, a neighboring nation to Israel. Though the brothers reconcile personally, their descendants will often be at odds. But their personal story is one of growth, grace, and redemption. Jacob, once a deceiver, becomes Israel, a patriarch of God's chosen people. Esau, once impulsive and angry, shows great grace and forgiveness. Their journey shows us that even the most broken relationships can be healed, that God's plans can work through human flaws, and that identity isn't fixed by birth, but shaped by choices and encounters with the divine. The story of Jacob and Esau is more than just an ancient family drama. It's a mirror into our own lives, our sibling rivalries, our regrets, our fears, and our longing for reconciliation. It reminds us that God can use flawed people to accomplish divine purposes. It teaches us that deception brings pain, but honesty and humility open the path to healing. It shows us that forgiveness is powerful, that even after betrayal, brothers can embrace again. And most of all, it tells us this: your past doesn't define you. Whether you're the Esau who lost something precious or the Jacob who's made mistakes, there is always a road to redemption. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of Jacob and Esau, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And remember, God's grace is bigger than your past, and His purpose is stronger than your failures.